Hello and a warm welcome to Power News, your window to the power sector. I'm Juhi Rajput. Let's begin with the top stories. Opposition government standoff over CAG report continues. Reliance Power refutes claim of rupees 29,033 crore gains. No scam in coal block allocation claims Tata Steel MD. Chief secretaries may be jailed for overdrawal of power. Jharkhand to have second ultra mega power plant. Mahanadi coalfield blames NALCO for coal shortage. Uttarakhand to waive rupees 435 crore loan to state power body. US solar major looks at new business model for India. And regulator asks Tata Power not to cherry pick Reliance Infra customers. Well, those were the top stories of the week. Let's move to our next section, quick updates. Industries in Andhra Pradesh will face up to 15 days of power holiday in a month. Domestic consumers in Hyderabad and other major cities will have to bear a 3-hour daily cut. Transmission Corporation of Andhra Pradesh has announced a new power cut schedule citing growing demand-supply gap. AP Transco has directed DISCOMs to strictly ensure that the farm sector gets 7 hours of power supply as per the government policy. SJVN's 1500 megawatt Nathpa Jhakri power project and JP's 1000 megawatt Karcham Wangtu hydroelectric project in Himachal Pradesh remained closed for 3 days in this week. The shutdown has hit power supply to states like Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand. The sill content in the Satluj River on which both the projects are located remained much higher than the permissible limit due to continuous rainfall. SJVNL's claimed the closure of power generation has caused a daily loss of rupees 9 crore. Fuel-starved state-run utility NTPC has devised a novel way to move coal from the mines to its power plants. NTPC is offering Indian Railways the money to set up the required rail links. The country's largest power producer and coal consumer, NTPC, proposed to recover the investment by setting it off against freight charges levied by the cash-strapped railways for moving coal. At times when power projects are facing problems of fuel linkage, financing and CAG scrutiny, Reliance Power, the flagship company of the Anil Dhirubhai Ambani Group, is planning to increase the capacity of its 4,000 megawatt Sasan Ultra Mega Power project by 50% to almost 6,000 megawatt, making it one of the largest power projects in the country. The company's plea for environment clearance for the proposed additional 2,000 megawatt capacity at Sasan will come up before the designated panel next month. And now the news of the week. With the opposition targeting the government over CAG report on coal allocation, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh is geared up to rebut in Parliament the charges, contending that there were inaccuracies in the misleading assessment of loss of rupees 1.85 lakh crore. The government hit back on the opposition parties, saying they were avoiding a debate on a controversial audit report on coal block allotments in Parliament since they were involved in the allocations. To talk in detail on CAG coal report, we have with us Mr. Sriprakash Jaiswal, Union Minister of Coal, and Mr. Prakash Javadekar, National Spokesperson BJP. Sriprakash Jaiswal, सबसे पहले मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूँगी कि CAG की रिपोर्ट के अनुसार 2004 से लेकर अब तक 142 कोल फील्ड प्राइवेट और स्टेट रन कंपनियों को बेची गई हैं। 2004 में कुछ कोल फील्ड्स जो प्राइवेट कंपनियों ने खरीदी थी उन पर अभी तक प्रोडक्शन शुरू नहीं हुआ है और कुछ कंपनियों ने तो कोल फील्ड बेचकर कई गुना ज़्यादा मुनाफा कमाया है। आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
पहली बात तो ये है कि कौन सी कंपनीज हैं जिन्होंने कोल माइन सेल की है और ह्यूज प्रॉफिट किया है, उसकी लिस्ट आप हमें दीजिए। मेरी जानकारी में ऐसी तो कोई कंपनी नहीं है जिसने ह्यूज प्रॉफिट किया हो और सेल किया हो। 57 माइंस जो अलॉट की गई उनमें से केवल एक माइन की माइनिंग शुरू हो पाई है, बाकी सारी माइंस वैसे ही पड़ी हैं। उनको क्लियरेंसेस नहीं मिली है, किसी को फॉरेस्ट्री क्लियरेंस नहीं मिली, किसी को एनवायरमेंटल क्लियरेंस नहीं मिली, किसी को लैंड एक्विजिशन की प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, तो सारी माइंस ऐसे ही पड़ी, केवल एक को छोड़।
Mr. Javadekar, Sriprakash Jaiswal does not agree with the point stated by CAG. What are your views as far as CAG report is concerned?
Yes, essentially I am completely convinced with the CAG report as far as the fact is concerned that this is the government which decided to auction the coal blocks and took the decision of changing the system to auction from nomination in 2006. and they actually declared their intention to do so in 2004. So since then there was a mad rush to acquire the coal blocks by nomination method instead of going in for auction, because in auction naturally they will have to pay a high price. Instead, by managing some underhand dealing, they wanted to acquire the coal blocks. So there was a black gold rush. And since 93, there is a policy when Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister that it will be captive coal blocks will be allotted by nomination to the power, cement and steel companies, means those who are actually operating. But later on, this government declaring the intention, taking the decision in the cabinet, made a lot of scam out of that, because when the sword of auction was hanging, they allotted 17 billion tons of coal reserves worth 51 lakh crore of rupees to 143 companies without auction. That is the scam, and that is what is pointed out by CAG.
जायसवाल जी, सीएजी का दावा है कि इस आवंटन से देश को 186 लाख करोड़ का नुकसान हुआ है, और बीजेपी का तो ये भी दावा है कि ये 2G से भी बड़ा स्कैम हो सकता है। सीएजी की रिपोर्ट पर आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
सीएजी ने जो कुछ भी कहा है, मैं उस पर कोई खास कमेंट्स नहीं करना चाहता हूं, लेकिन जो कुछ भी कहा है वो तथ्यों पर आधारित नहीं है। मैं उससे पूरी तरीके से असहमत हूं। जहां तक भारतीय जनता पार्टी के एलिगेशन की बात है, पहले भारतीय जनता पार्टी को अपनी गिरेबान में झांक के देखना चाहिए कि उन्हीं के राज्यों ने बिडिंग प्रोसेस का विरोध किया। संघीय व्यवस्था में अगर स्टेट्स विरोध कर रही हैं, जैसे छत्तीसगढ़ ने विरोध किया, जैसे राजस्थान ने विरोध किया, जैसे झारखंड ने विरोध किया, जैसे वेस्ट बंगाल ने विरोध किया, तो कैसे बिडिंग प्रोसेस लागू हो सकता था? बिडिंग प्रोसेस का आइडिया मूव तो हमारी गवर्नमेंट ने ही किया था 2004 में। उसके पहले 35 कोल ब्लॉक्स तो एनडीए ने एलोकेट किए थे, उन्होंने बिडिंग प्रोसेस क्यों नहीं लागू किया? हमने मूव किया कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा ट्रांसपेरेंसी आए, इसके लिए हमने बिडिंग प्रोसेस लागू करने की कोशिश की। लेकिन जब स्टेट्स ने विरोध किया, लॉ मिनिस्ट्री ने 3 ओपिनियन दी, तीनों डिफर कर रही थी, तो हमारी लाचारी थी कि हम इसका कौन सा रास्ता निकालें। बाद में हमारी गवर्नमेंट इस एक्सटेंट तक गई कि सारे राज्यों के, देश के सारे राज्यों के माइन मिनिस्टर्स को बुलाकर मीटिंग हमने की। जब हम 2009 में बने, कोल हमको मिला, तब हमने मीटिंग की और हमने उनको ऑफ़र किया कि आपको हम सारी की सारी जितनी फंड्स आएंगे बिडिंग से, वो सब कुछ आपको दे देंगे, आप लोग बिडिंग के लिए तैयार हो जाइए। तो तब कहीं जाकर वो राज्य तैयार हुए, तब कहीं जाकर वो बिल पास हुआ, तब कहीं जाकर बिडिंग प्रोसेस के लिए आगे बढ़ रही है गाड़ी। तो किसने विरोध किया? भारतीय जनता पार्टी अगर कोई एलिगेशन लगाती है तो उसको अपने में झांक के देखना चाहिए कि उन्हीं के राज्यों ने विरोध किया और वही एलिगेशन लगा रहे हैं। कि मेजर रीज़न्स यही थे। सबसे मेजर रीज़न तो ये था कि वो सारे राज्य कहते थे कि हम अगर आप बिडिंग करेंगे तो हमारी स्टेट में कोयला महंगा होगा, हमारी स्टेट में पावर महंगी होगी, हमारी स्टेट का इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन रुकेगा, इसलिए हम इसका कड़ा विरोध करते हैं।
Mr. Javadekar, Sriprakash Jaiswal is saying that the allocations were made on the recommendation of the state governments. BJP-ruled states had opposed the bidding for coal blocks when the government decided to allocate them.
It is absolutely rubbish. Maharashtra, Andhra and Haryana governments also have asked for the earlier method to continue. When the central government asks for opinion on a policy issue, every state government is free to give its opinion. But what is the decision of the government? The central government decided to auction and did not allot as per the auction. That is the scam. And what is worst is, as I told you, Congress Chief Minister's recommendation is what? Coal allocation is the central government prerogative.
जायसवाल जी, कांग्रेस ने सीएजी के इस दावे को गलत ठहराया है कि देश को 186 लाख करोड़ का नुकसान हुआ है। यही नहीं, कांग्रेस का ये भी कहना है कि सीएजी की वैल्यूएशन मेथोडोलॉजी में ही खामियां हैं। किस आधार पर कांग्रेस ये दावा कर रही है?
सीधा सा प्रश्न है। 57 कोल ब्लॉक्स की जिसकी सीएजी बात कर रहा है, उसमें से जब एक ब्लॉक ही अभी तक कुल माइनिंग हो रही है, 56 कोल ब्लॉक्स में माइनिंग शुरू ही नहीं हुई है, तो ये लॉस का अंदाज़ा कैसे लगा लिया सीएजी? हमारा क्वेश्चन ये है कि आपने लॉस का अंदाज़ा कैसे लगाया? इसके माने ये है कि आपका अंदाज़ा गलत था। उसके पीछे क्या आपका सोच थी ये तो सीएजी जाने, लेकिन हम उससे पूरी तरीके से असहमत हैं। और कोई भी बुद्धिमान व्यक्ति, कोई भी व्यक्ति से आप पूछेंगे कि माइनिंग हुई नहीं तो आपने लॉस को असेस कैसे कर लिया?
Mr. Javadekar, how would you like to respond? Do you agree with what he said?
As far as the calculation of the report is concerned, ultimately CAG's calculation is underestimate of what has actually happened. I will prove it. The 2G, they calculated 1,76,000, and like you are now asking, the journalist at that time and the Congress was also asking what fantastic, sensationalizing 1,76,000. If 1650 was the correct price, then why the government now has declared 14,000 as the reserve price? If 14,000, you just calculate and the net realization through auction will be 1,76,000, not a paisa less. So that is the scam amount, because what you were saying, zero loss, has earned the government 1,76,000. Once you cancel those allotments because of Supreme Court, and then you go to auction route and you will recover that much money. So CAG calculation is right, 2G has proved it, CAG has proved it, so this also will be proved.
Mr. Javadekar, lastly, I'd like to ask you, will you discuss the issues in the parliament or will keep seeking PM's resignation over CAG report on coal blocks?
We are discussing with you, to the nation and everybody, and we can't have a system where fair investigation by CBI can't be done of the Prime Minister, because it is his signature. Let us understand. Here the coal block is there. If Raja goes for 2G spectrum allotment because he has signed the file, if Aircel Maxis deal Mr. Dayanidhi Maran has misused, and if both had to go, with the same logic the PM has to go. Why not? When the PM goes, they can nominate anybody as PM. No issue.
जायसवाल जी, जैसा कि बीजेपी पीएम के इस्तीफे को लेकर अड़ी हुई है और संसद सत्र भी नहीं चल पा रहा है, तो अब यूपीए अगला कदम क्या उठाएगी?
दरअसल ये एक बहुत बड़ी साजिश हमारे देश में ऐसे राजनेताओं के खिलाफ हो रही है जो निष्ठा और ईमानदारी के साथ सरकार चलाना चाहते हैं, देश चलाना चाहते हैं। कोशिश ये हो रही है कि ऐसे नेताओं की इमेज टार्निश की जाए और अपना राजनीतिक लाभ उठाया जाए। देश का कितना भी बड़ा नुकसान हो, अपना राजनीतिक लाभ उठाया जाए, ये साजिश है और उसी साजिश के तहत इस तरीके की डिमांड्स की जा रही हैं।
Thanks Mr. Jaiswal and Mr. Javadekar for joining us on the Power News. It's time for a quick break, but there's a lot more on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching Power News. The ghost of the grid breakdown that plunged half of India into darkness last week may continue to haunt us as the network remains susceptible to wild overdrawing by the state governments in the face of increasing demand and poor capacity addition. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. Yashraj, a Jaipur boy, has already demonstrated this through a micro project in a village in Rajasthan, and says his smart grid systems can be scaled up to solve power problems in urban localities as well. Here is a detailed report by our correspondent.
Sitting some 150 km away from his customer's location, Khaitan in Jaipur knows in real time how much energy a villager is consuming at Khareda village in Tong district. This is where his startup Gram Power made a debut 2 months back, providing power to 200 people.
Gram Power has created a smart microgrid system to essentially cater to the three main challenges associated with rural electrification. The first of that is electricity theft. The second is affordable access to reliable power. And the third is, of course, that a bulk of rural India just receives a very unreliable supply of power, both in terms of quality of electricity and as well as quantity.
Yashraj Khaitan, along with his one friend from University of California, has developed a technology model to electrify rural villages using renewable energy sources locally available. It generates power from solar, wind and biomass abundantly available in the area and stored in batteries. It is distributed to consumers using an invention called smart microgrid. This model not only addresses the issue of power shortage but makes electricity affordable as well.
We can interface our smart grid infrastructure with any form of generation, be it solar, be it biomass, hydro, or even the utility grid. And once we get this supply of electricity, the Gram Power smart grid system distributes this power in the most energy efficient and cost effective manner to the consumers.
In 2011, US space agency NASA had selected the Gram Power technology among top 10 clean technology innovations in the world.
There is a lot of interesting technology that we have deployed such that if one consumer is overdrawing or misusing this community resource, the other consumers in the grid don't get affected. So for example, if there's a single consumer who's drawing more power than what his connection is rated for, then the meter automatically shuts off. And then the meter waits for the consumer to remove that overload condition. We indicate to the consumer that there's an overload condition, and as soon as the consumer removes that overload condition, the meter turns back on. And so his overload or his overdrawing of power does not affect power supply in the rest of the grid.
Now let's see how it works. Renewable energy based generation installed locally in the village distribution wiring is drawn in the village to connect each house consumers provided a Gram Power smart prepaid meter. Central monitoring system is installed in the generation station that talks to every meter. It wirelessly transfers this credit to the energy wallet. A local entrepreneur purchases bulk energy credit from Gram Power and then sells it to the locals using Gram Power's prepaid energy selling device, just like cell phone companies sell prepaid minutes. Just rupees 10 per day buys enough prepaid recharge for 9 hours of lighting, 6 hours of a ceiling fan and TV, and charging a cell phone.
हमारे गांव में पहले सौर ऊर्जा की एक एक दो दो प्लेटें थी, तो उससे हमारा काम नहीं होता था, चलता था। बाहर बच्चे छोटे छोटे पढ़ाई के लिए भी असमर्थ थे और पढ़ नहीं पाते थे। जब हमारे गांव में ग्राम पावर आया, तब से सभी सुविधा बिजली लाइट की सारी 24 घंटा सुविधा मिल गई।
Gram Power's prepaid model means 100% payment recovery along with rupees per hour pricing brings lot of value as the customer knows how much balance and hour of power is left with his meter.
So when we were developing the Gram Power smart microgrid system, our main inspiration was the telecom revolution that has happened in rural India over the past 10 years or so. We believe that this revolution has largely happened because telecommunications provides an extremely high utility to the rural consumer, and at the same time, the prepaid purchase model that telecom came up with targeted the disposable income of the rural consumers. And the Gram Power system does exactly that. We provide our consumers an extremely high value proposition because people are able to use their daily disposable incomes and recharge our smart prepaid meters for as little as 20 to 30 rupees. And for as little as 20 rupees, our consumer is able to get as much as 80 hours of electricity supply in their homes. So the fact that we are able to provide the consumer a 24/7 electricity supply with this affordable payment plan is what makes the Gram Power system extremely unique and a strong value proposition for the rural consumer.
Besides getting many grants and awards including initial support from Alibaba.com, the venture has already received a seed-level private equity funding from a Swiss company. But the real challenge and success of Gram Power is to build economies of scale so that hundreds of millions of people in rural hinterlands that are off the grid or receive intermittent supply get affordable, reliable and clean power that would replace the carbon-spewing costly kerosene and reduce the burden on the electricity grid. It's time for another short break. Keep watching Power News. Welcome back. In a developing country like India, demand for energy has been ever increasing, despite rapid increase in power generation capacity. Power shortage still continues to persist in the country, and this gap can be supplemented by utilization of renewable sources of energy in general and solar energy in particular, as it is pollution-free and available in abundance. Here is a report by our correspondent.
Ministry of New and Renewable Energy is implementing various schemes to promote off-grid applications of solar energy with 30% to 60% capital subsidy. On Thursday, MNRE organized national workshop on solar water heaters under UNDP GEF supported project on solar water heaters. The basic objective of the project is to accelerate the growth of solar water heating market by generating market demand, strengthening supply chain, adopting qualitative measures and establishing supportive regulatory environment.
For this, we have several programs where we are trying to organize meetings, some publicity campaigns we are launching. We've already done quite a lot on that. Then the second thing is that the urban local bodies have to be convinced on this, because urban local bodies pass building plans. And if there is a provision that building plans will not get passed unless solar water heater is installed, then right in the beginning when a building is being constructed, solar water heaters will come up. And the cost of solar water heater is very small percentage of the total cost of the building. So I think this can take off.
In order to transform the solar water heating market in India, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy has joined hands with UNDP, UNEP and GEF in Global Solar Water Heating Market Transformation Strengthening Initiative. Under this project, India aims to achieve 10 million square meter additional collector area by 2012.
The central government is quite concerned about promotion of solar water heaters, because solar water heater is the most efficient, probably the best use of solar power. While it saves electricity, it is also very convenient for people who use it. It's the cleanest form of solar power. So from Government of India, we are trying to promote this in a big way. The first job in our hands is to convince people. People should understand that this is a very useful product and it will save money and increase their convenience. From MNRE, we have subsidy schemes where we are giving 30% flat subsidy, and in special category states we are giving 60% flat subsidy.
The solar water heating system may cost Rs 25,000, but at energy cost of Rs 5 per kilowatt hour, the saving could be Rs 4,500 to Rs 9,000 per year, depending on the usage of hot water. At present, some incentives are available from governments in different states which provide easy financing and also capital subsidy.
If you are running a small restaurant or a hotel industry or a textile one, you're not really aware as to what are the possibilities that you can use and how it can be used. So that's what area has been a focus for us. We have identified like textile is one area where a lot of processed water is used. And then we have the hotel industry, the hospital industry, where a lot of this. So we're not only looking at solar water, we are also looking at other renewable energy based systems which also can be used along with this.
On this occasion, Dr. Farooq Abdullah also facilitated the municipal corporations, manufacturers, channel partners, industry and state nodal agencies for their commendable efforts in promoting solar energy uses among consumers.
It is not only for MEDA, for the entire state of Maharashtra, I would say. As you might have noted during the function, not only MEDA, but a lot many other people from Maharashtra have received the award, including some municipal corporations, Thane Municipal Corporation, Kalyan Dombivli. A lot many manufacturers and system installers from Maharashtra have received award with MEDA too. So in fact, this award goes to Maharashtra state as a whole. And to give us some statistics for MEDA as such and for Maharashtra, during 11-12 we have been able to install as much as 1,98,000 square meters of solar collector area, which is quite a huge figure to be put up during 1 year. And so far we have been able to put up 6.24 lakh square meters. That's something of an achievement, and we have been the leaders in different sectors of renewable energy, and this is one sector that we should be proud of.
To make the solar vision a reality, the industry needs to be geared up to take up such ambitious goals.
So it's one thing is installation, second is service. If you don't have service, for you buy a car, but you don't have a servicing station for that car, you're not going to buy that car. The same way is in this system. You have to create service stations so that people are satisfied. And inshallah, the prices are coming down. That's one good thing. Only thing I have to say to you, please do not buy cheap stuff from China.
To prevent poor quality of products and services, the industry needs to ensure good marketing, sales and service network and quality of products to develop confidence of the users. Then only the people could be motivated to use these solar products in large number. With this, we come to an end of this edition of Power News. Keep sending us your suggestions and views at powernews@znetwork.com or call us on 011-405-60701. As always, we look forward to your feedback. Do join us next week for more news and updates. Till then, goodbye and take care.